Hey, folks, big question of the day. Are funnels dead? Ooh, you've heard a lot about funnels over the years. We have one of our resident experts, Dr. Brandt Gibson. Great to be with you today, Brandt.
Great to be here. I'm excited to be part of this.
Oh, man. Hey, listen, you saw John Ali a few hour ago or whatever, but how many years have you been at the conference?
I came first year in 2018. I guess the
Nice.
story is I found you because I was looking for a way to market my book that I'd finished. It wasn't published yet, but I was looking for a way to market it. And
oh, man.
And as I reached out to you and says, okay, let's do this. And I think less than a month later, I says, wait a second, why am I having him just market my book? Let's have him publish it as well. And so we jumped in the publishing process, and within months we had it published and out, and we were marketing it your way. And so I went to the first conference because I had a book that I wanted to go to the conference for.
Well, I love it. And you have a lot of books behind you. Maybe you have all of them, maybe you don't, but
I got three of them. One of them still it's being published. It's not out yet.
Okay.
And there are 3 more in the pipeline. So,
oh my gosh! But let's break it down. You got James and the Band of Fire,
right?
Okay, and so that's a fiction book,
correct?
And it's a whole amazing series about what it means to be concordant, and we'll get into that in a moment. And then what else? Now you're doing.
So James the Band of Fire. Then this is book 2, James and the Armor of Solomon. Book 3 is in the process.
Okay.
It already has a title.
Okay.
It's James and the Stone of David.
Ooh, nice. All right. And then you moved into the nonfiction world of podiatry because that's your business.
Yeah, well, that's what people think I should be writing.
Yes.
And so what I've done is I've done the Health Unmasked series, and there are actually 5 books. 2 of them are done. One of them I have in hand right now. The other one is publishing as we speak, basically. And
yes.
So
who would have thought that? 2018, you got this one idea for this one book, and you look at I look at your life. You've joined Fire Ring Mastermind for multiple years. I think ever since the beginning.
Ever since it was created. Yep.
Yeah, and you've been returning alumni. You moved your business, and you're having tremendous success. You're becoming the thought leader in your space. You've even told me, hey, man, I'm only doing this specific surgery. I'm focusing on it. But Brandt, the online world has changed in the last 5 years. We went from, funnels where it's like, hey, drop money in, get money out. And now all of a sudden things have shifted because of iOS updates. But talk to us about, like, are funnels dead?
Well, let me go bigger than that, because it's not the online space hasn't just changed. The world has changed. I mean, it is so much bigger than that. We're basically saying, I guess the best example, I'm 51 years old.
Okay.
When I was a kid in the summer, so we're in the summer now, I would go out, get on my bike, and disappear for the whole day. There were no cell phones. There was no way to talk to my family. My mom would basically say, come home when it gets dark. And so we'd go play and we'd go do whatever, and we didn't have to worry about it.
Whoa, sounds crazy now. Yeah.
And then I've got 11 children, and I wouldn't dream of not knowing where they are, not knowing what's going on with them. We don't send them outside to just play because we have a distrust of the world.
Yeah, human trafficking, all kinds of stuff, that drug abuse. Wow, that is a great analogy. So you're basically saying that years and years ago, you'd hop on a bike, you'd be gone all day, and that was the reality. And now the world has changed, and so our behavior has changed.
Right. There's a study out, Edelman Trust Barometer from 2022, and they actually said that nearly 6 in 10, their default tendency is to distrust. So they don't believe people until they prove that they're trustworthy.
Which is a massive shift in society. We used to say, my default was to trust people, prove it otherwise. And now we're saying, things are so skeptical, cynical, online fake news, deep fakes, that now we don't.
Government, health, all of these things have actually led to us not believing what's going on around us.
And I know what you're going to say, that has seeped into the way that authors, entrepreneurs, and influencers now have to market their products and services.
Correct, because just putting a market message out there, you used to be able to say, okay, put a message out there, it gets taken, people run with it because they believe that I'm trying to be honest, and so they'll actually take it and they'll run with it. Now, Apple, iOS actually took this and said, people don't trust, so we're going to build trust through changing our operating system to help them in that process.
Wow.
And so they created a unique selling proposition. Their USP is what they call it in marketing terms, where they came out and says, we're going to be the ones that are going to protect you, protect your privacy, keep you protected from all of these individuals that want to steal your data so that they can trick you into buying.
And so some of that was, quote, noble, meaning, hey, big tech, Facebook and other people, we had proof that
they were controlling the message.
Yep. Yeah. Social Dilemma proved that. Manipulation, this is where I'd love to hear what people think, but you'd say something and then you'd go back to your phone the next day and it would be selling you that exact product. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm being hacked or stalked.
I'm being recorded.
Yeah. So that started to happen around 18, 19, 20. And then all of a sudden you're saying that the new iOS updates came out. And basically the default was, hey, listen, do you want us to follow you around online? Do you remember the number? Because this
iOS 14, there's two of them. iOS 14 and iOS 15 are the two different changes. iOS 14 came out, and what they did is they stopped allowing people to get third-party data. So can I explain that a little bit?
Please do.
So what you've got different forms of data. You've got third-party data, which is basically you track what people are doing on other platforms, other websites, and so forth, and you're taking that data and using it to market. Then you got second-party data, which would be the stuff that you're actually doing yourself. So if there are things that they physically do on Facebook can still track. That's second-party data. That would be the same thing. If the Igniting Souls tribe, for example, you have stuff that's done in that tribe can actually be second-party data to people that work with you.
Gotcha.
And then you've got first-party data, which is data that you own, and that would be your email list or my email list or those kind of things, those individuals that I directly interact with, or my customers or patients or whatever. And then they're now talking about, Ryan Levesque actually presented this principle. He says there's zero-party data where the individuals are giving you their information.
Yes.
And so that's where we're now at. That's where it's changed. iOS 14 principally eliminated third-party data. They basically says you can opt out. And all the experts said, oh, that's not going to be that big a deal. They figure 10 to 15% of individuals will opt out. So do you know what the real number is?
I do, just because
you were listening to the same stuff, probably.
Yeah. But
it's mind-blowing because it's 88%.
Yep.
So a majority of individuals, almost 90% of individuals, almost 9 out of 10 individuals says you can no longer track me.
Yep.
Which means they're now invisible to your Facebook marketing pixels and your Google tracking devices. They basically should be invisible. I think there's still a little bit of a workaround. I don't think it's 100%, but it's better.
Yeah. So I want people to realize this, because again, you're not going to go to a conference where most people are even talking about this.
Right.
Most people, in fact, I'm not going to name names, but most of the colleagues that I hung with for years, they don't even want their audiences to know this. Because why? Because they're selling products that still teach the old system, which essentially means that it's irrelevant. In other words, they're giving you tricks, tips, tools to say, here's how to market online, here's how to build your business. And the truth is that it no longer works. But
it no longer works the same way.
It
Let's
no
make
longer
sure we
works the
say it
same
that
way.
way.
There you go. No longer works the same way. And I don't want to throw any names under the bus, because I won't. But I'll tell you that I know, because I can see it online, that some of the people are not disclosing that. And they're still trying to just plug the same thing that they did 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And as a result, their people are not going to get results. And I believe that's unethical and dishonest. We've said, on the other hand, look, the world has changed. In fact, that's our theme. Bigger than me. It's right in your background. It says, the world has changed.
Right.
Are you still trying to reach your people the same way? So a lot of people are going to bury their heads in the sand and say, oh, it's too complicated, or I'm just going to pretend it's not a problem. Tell us about first the iOS 15, which
So
is
iOS 15,
right? Yeah.
iOS 15 took it a step further, because iOS 14 was a hit, and Apple says, okay, we like being in charge of the world, so we're going to change it again. And iOS 15 changed it so you now can no longer track if emails are opened or not.
That is unbelievable, folks. Why is that important? Why is it so essential that in the past, authors, entrepreneurs, speakers would know when people opened and who opened their emails?
Well, the advantage is, you says, okay, are my emails making it? Are people seeing my message? Because if they don't see your message, they can't be influenced by your message. So this is kind of a unique change, and they're going, well, your phone can't make it so they can't tell when you open your emails, because I open my emails on my computer, or I open of my emails in other places. The truth is, what they've done is they've confused the data. iOS 15 now opens your emails multiple times.
So you might send out an email and think, oh my gosh, this email's resonating about my event or coaching program. And then when you see
nobody's seen it.
And when you see 0 conversions, then, and you're like, something's wrong with me. People don't believe in me. And you're saying that, no, it's because
the operating system is opening the email, and it's opening it multiple times to make it so you can't track.
That is unbelievable. So these are the things, folks, that we're saying at Igniting Souls Conference. You are understanding the cutting edge. Now, just because that's true, what's the solution now, Brandt?
So because of that, so that's the reason why people are saying, okay, marketing funnels are dead. Because they're doing things the exact same way. They're saying people to their funnels the exact same way. They're using the exact same types of funnels, the exact same marketing messages, and they're tracking the data and saying, we can't see that it's working. So marketing funnels are dead. Now there's 2 trains of thought. One of them is these competitors are saying, perfect, now I can sell my single page that people go to and they buy my product that has never been as effective as a marketing funnel. I can now say it's more effective because it's just as effective as a marketing funnel, because we're now getting the same people. If I send people to my marketing funnel, it will work. If I send people to my cart, my page, it's going to work. Yes, because you're sending people there. You're not expecting them to be found through the old way of marketing. And so what you have to do is you have to do it a different way. You have to do it a new way. And it comes back to trust. Because if you say, oh, I'm going to throw out a webinar and create trust in my 90-minute webinar. Sometimes, if you're good at it, if you're really good at webinars, this will work in some instances. But the best way is to build your credibility and to increase your ability to function. And there's 2 techniques that we're going to talk about at the conference for this exact purpose, to say, I'm going to take my message and I'm going to go from a dreamer that has a message that they want to share with people, to the expert that people are coming to for that because they trust me.
Wow. So this is your talk at conference. You're basically going to help people understand a new way of building trust and getting that 0-party data, where they willingly say, hey, here's my data. I want you to have it. And people might be like, why in the heck would people do that? Because you're going to tie value to it.
Right. And the truth is, what you're doing is you're over delivering, which Kary teaches on a regular basis, where you're showing up filled up and saying, I'm giving, and then the right individuals are going to jump in. So you don't have to have 100 individuals that jump into your programs.
Yeah.
You need the right 10 individuals that jump into your programs, because they will learn with you, and they will grow, and they will improve, and they will become your messengers to share the message to the world. And then those 10 become the 100 over time, because they're proven examples of your process, your framework working.
I want people to catch this, because Brandt, you've been around Igniting Souls for a long time.
Right.
You know that our strategy used to be paid marketing,
right,
and then paid ads. And I mean, we would, in our heyday, invest $50,000 a month on paid ads. And why? Because it worked. We'd get people on a webinar who wanted to be helped. Then we would have massive applications, and then we would have to sift through them and pick the best of. And that was just like this cycle. Well, along comes these updates and COVID and distrust, and Biden versus Trump, and we're not getting into politics today, but people began to say, look, I'm not even going to come online anymore because it's a fight with everybody. And you saw polarization and how big tech was creating this massive divide. And then what happened, Brandt, is our same dollars that we invested had less return, pretty much to the point that it was no return.
Right. And then if you don't have the message that the platform liked, if it was a wrong message for them,
oh my gosh,
then they blocked you. They basically says, okay, I'm not going to even allow you to spend money with us because we don't want your message to get out there.
Yeah, we'd use the wrong word. And it's no secret. I told people for years, like, hey, we were shut down from Facebook for 9 months. And yet, thank God, we've come back stronger. We've, you see the numbers. You see people joining the tribe. You see people at, we have almost all of our conference tickets are already gone, and we're in the super early bird phase. Right. You see that we're still reaching people, but here's what we've done. We've shifted. And this is why I'm so passionate about this conference this year, and this topic, and Brandt's message is that you can't just throw your hands up and be like, well, Facebook doesn't work, or Google doesn't work, or Twitter doesn't work, or TikTok doesn't work. If you get hacked by that message, there goes your passion, your dream, your calling. You, Brandt, are stepping it up, and you're saying, look, we're going to find a way around it. And talk about your title for your conference theme.
Yeah, really, let me give a little background. I've actually spent a bunch of money so that I can do this right. So I'm not just saying, okay, I now know what we're supposed to do, let's go out there and do it. I'm actually paying some of the best individuals. Besides Kary, I pay Kary as well. I'm paying some of the best individuals to help me find the best ways to do this. People that are doing it. I mean, you've got Frank Kern, who's considered one of the best marketers in the world.
Yeah.
That he actually laughs. He says, people are saying that Facebook marketing doesn't work anymore. He says, it does. They just got lousy marketing messages. And so of course it doesn't work. If you give a good message, you give a good product, a good, basically a resource that's going to help people, that's going to build people and show up filled up, right?
Yeah.
Then it's going to work. And I've worked with Dean Graciosi. I've worked with Tony Robbins. I've worked with Russell Brunson. The point is, I want to have the best ways to do this. And I actually feel blessed for the opportunity to step on stage with all the people that are coming, because I feel like I'm one of the little guys over here saying, I'm just trying to get to the point where I can share this powerful message that you can still reach the same number of individuals. In fact, you're going to reach people faster, quicker, and deeper than you ever could with the previous way of marketing.
Well, here's what it does. Just like anything, when there's a shift, it empties the ocean of the people. Right. It really does. Of the people who were either lazy or not clear,
or victims.
or victims. It basically says, look, the ones who are going to rise to the top, the ones who are going to gain market share in the shift, are the ones who are clear and sharp and focused and growth oriented. And that's why I think the tribe has such an opportunity. So what are you going to talk about at your...
So what we're going to do is we're going to take that we're going to start with the distrust process, and we're going to help people build their tribe so that you can get owned data, first party data, fine tune your message so that you're giving them the message they want. Because if you give them the message they want, they're going to keep coming back for more. And then you're going to expand your influence by accessing shared audiences through or second party data and zero party data by reaching out and saying, okay, I'm going to pull in individuals and let them tell me what they want and give it to them.
Wow. And you have some credibility. I mean, you've run Teenfluencer Summit.
Right.
I watched that and I was like, wow, that was run so well. I can't say the title. It starts with an S. That's my hint. But that we're running a amazing thing in the fall.
Right.
Precursor to conference that's going to be a complement with many influencers, in my opinion, the top 5 in their field.
In their
field in September. And so you don't see me laying around. You see me saying, look, I'm going to tap into Brandt's wisdom. He's a student. He loves this stuff. He's great at tech. And what about someone, Brandt, who says, listen, wow, this is deep stuff. It's way over my head. What about the author who says, look, I just want to write books and have people read it? Because I hear that a lot. I hear, oh my gosh, I'm just going to sit back and write books and let the world find me. Is that loser talk?
It's loser talk if that's all they do. Because there's a great book. You introduced it to me. Who, Not How, right? So you can literally say, I'm not someone that can do that. I don't want to do that.
Interesting.
Then great. Don't find a who that can do it for you. And then you can sit back and write your books and use this other individual to market your message, get your message out there, share it, and so forth.
Boom. I like that. So the person could be someone who just wants to write, but they need to find the right who.
Correct. Can I tell you a story?
Go for it.
Let me tell you why I wrote my first book.
Okay.
So I've written my whole life. As a little kid, I used to write stories, but I never wrote a book. My daughter came to me and says, I'm writing these books, and she was working on them and doing that. And I'm going, I don't know how to help her. I don't know how to give her the resources she needs to get published and to get it out there and market and so forth. And so I better figure that out.
Yep.
How do I figure it out? I decided I was going to write a book.
Yep.
So I wrote a book, and I decided, okay, if I can get my book published and I can figure out how to market my book, I'll know how to help her do hers.
Wow.
And the truth is that that's the exact same thing I'm doing now to say, people want to figure out how to get their message out there. Well, let's figure out how to help them make a summit. Let's figure out how to help them take these challenges. Challenges are the biggest thing right now in marketing. People are going, let's do a 5-day challenge. Let's do a 31-day challenge. Let's do these challenges to get people in so that they can learn that they trust you and that they can follow you and that you can help them transform their lives. And so if you don't know how to do this, one of the things we're going to do at conference is show you exactly the process to do that.
Wow. That is so good. Brandt, I got to read a few names here. I'm just going to read their first name only. These are people who literally signed up for the conference in the last, 48 hours. We have James, Terry. James said, I'm actually going to buy a ticket for my wife. And he bought another ticket, so I'm guessing maybe a child as well. We have Lacey. Congratulations. Lacey said, I'm not just buying a ticket, I'm going to upgrade. So she bought it, and then she's like, I'm going to upgrade. Susan bought the Web3 workshop prior to conference from 1 to 4 on Thursday. And that's going to teach her all about NFTs, digital wallets, crypto, because that's where the world's going.
Right.
Diane did the Web3 workshop. Bobby just, what is today? So Bobby just purchased a general ticket. So my point is this, Brandt, you've brought your kids to the conferences. You know that we sell out. Why talk to someone right now who's watching this either live or they're watching it later in the day. Thanks, Tanisha. We're throwing Brandt's book up there on Amazon. But why would you tell someone to jump in and say yes to themselves? Like, what's it going to cost them if they don't?
Well, the question is, are you worth $300? Are you personally worth $300? And if Kary could tell you, okay, for $300, we can give you the tools so you can become well-known, so you can become a global personal brand, so you can build a huge audience of people who like you and trust you. Or maybe you can become a celebrity in your niche. Or maybe you're going, oh, I don't want any of that. I just want to become better at being me. Any of those reasons are worth spending $300. And the truth is, if you're going to spend $300, upgrade, then you can get the recordings. You can go back and say, okay, Jean-Ali blew it out of the water. I didn't catch everything the first time. I want to watch it 3 or 4 more times. So let me go back and watch the recordings, which you get. My understanding is if you VIP upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I get it. I mean, $300 is a lot to some people, and yet I go to the grocery store and I'm like, dang, that $300 didn't go far at all.
Well, I get 2 tanks of gas in my truck for $300.
Wow.
That's all.
Wow. Yeah. And so what we're basically saying is, look, folks, we don't want you to miss out. Super Early Bird literally ends July 15th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific. You're also getting a bonus, a pre-conference bonus from every speaker that we can get to, that we ask. But what's your bonus, Brandt?
Well, what I wanted to do is I wanted to give them something they could start using come the 15th of July.
Wow.
And say, okay, let's start being successful. Let's start succeeding in what you're doing right now. So I'm going to give you the 3 secrets to success in anything you do. And what I'm doing is I'm taking what I've learned from Kary, what I've learned from Russell Brunson, what I've learned from Dean Graziosi, what I've learned from Tony Robbins, and I put them all into one thing to say, these are the 3 things you need to do to succeed in anything you do. To succeed as a person, to succeed as a parent, succeed in your business, or even just succeed in a goal you have. I want to lose weight.
Yeah.
These 3 simple is in quotes because it's simple only if you do it.
Yeah. Simple to understand, but you gotta invest the action.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Brandt, I love the fact that I've seen you grow. I mean, you came 5 years ago without a book. Now you've developed an entire fiction series. You've developed an entire nonfiction series. You've taken your business to new places. You've implemented the who, not how. You said, I'm going to stop doing every surgery. I'm going to only do this surgery. And then you are just growing yourself. I see it. I mean, everybody sees it. So, folks, I can't stress strongly enough, Brandt's session about challenges and summits is the way of marketing. And if you have been anywhere online in the last 12 months, you've seen that other people are doing challenges and summits. He's going to give you the whole package on how to do it, why to do it. And Brandt, I'm excited. I can't wait to see. It was so cool to see Kiara blow up her passion to reach teens through a summit. I mean, I don't know if you know this. I think I can share it. She gained so many relationships. So besides all the impact and even some of the income that she earned, she now is interning. Do you know this? With Tim Elmore.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
Yeah.
But the point is, that's part of it, because you're saying, how do I become the expert? You start as a reporter. And
ooh, that's
the purpose. As a summit, you go become the reporter. Tony Robbins wrote a book on finance. How did he become good enough to be able to write that book on finance?
You just interviewed
He
everyone.
talked to the best people in the world in finance and interviewed them, and then wrote a book based on what he learned from them.
That's so good. That's so good. Well, Brandt, thanks for the bonus. Thanks for your passion. It was fun seeing you this last year in firing, and you're just somebody who always is giving value. So, last thing you want to share, my friend? We're popping in your LinkedIn. We're popping in your website. What do you want to say to the person?
Last thing is, I want everybody to know that they were born extraordinary. And what's happened with the world changing is we're starting to believe the message that people are telling us that we are just normal, average, and ordinary, and we need to kind of fit in. You don't need to fit in. Come to the Uniting Souls Conference so we can help you step out and become the extraordinary you're born to be, because the world needs you. I need you to be extraordinary so that I can get better.
I love that. And I mean, there's no way I'll ever know about podiatry and foot stuff and, James and the Band of Fire. In other words, I can't be and reach the people that you can. Right. And I think you're saying the exact same thing. John Ollie's going places I'll never go. But you're right. As everybody becomes a soul on fire, the whole world gets lit up. So, Brandt, thank you, my friend. You did a fantastic job today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right, folks, I'll be around with other people that are speaking at the Igniting Souls Conference this whole week. We're giving you a sneak peek of just some of the speakers, some of the passion. And like I said, I don't know another event on planet Earth that is going to give you the value at the price point. And so I've said it before. I'll say it here. I'm making this up on the spot. But I've said it every year. If you purchase an Igniting Souls Conference ticket, and if you do not find 10x the value, on the Saturday of conference, by 5 p.m., you email our team, support at Igniting Souls Conference, or support at igniting-souls.com, and we will refund you in full. That's how much I believe in this event. That's how much I believe in our team, our speakers. In other words, I've removed the risk. There is literally no risk. In fact, you can keep the bonuses as well. So that's how much, I don't know. I don't know if Disney would say that. Hey, come to Disney, and if on your last day you don't think it's worth it, come get a full refund and keep all the memories and bonuses. I don't think people do that, but that's how much I know that this event will shift your reality. And I'll tell you what, personally, just a little side note, the world is going to shift. It is shifting. You see it. We cannot sustain our current polarization. I'm talking about all the global issues, and I'm not going to get into them today because I know everyone lines up in different places with these issues, but I'm just telling you that you can feel it. Your gut senses it. There's a tearing of the fabric of our culture and our society and our world, and we need what Souls on Fire can bring. And so I just want to say that you better be ready. You better be prepared. And those who aren't will get swept away. Those who do will rise up and become legends. So thanks, folks. Be a soul on fire. We'll see you. And get your ticket before they're gone. Talk to you later.